Welcome to the Clemson Dubcast. It is Saturday, April 27th. If you are a subscriber to TigerIllustrated.com, you've spent this week reading our in-depth State of the Program series, State of the Football Program, as part of our celebration of 25 years of being in business. It's been amazing to me as someone who, thought he had a pretty good knowledge of the history to go back and do some more digging in conversations with a bunch of people and peel back a few more layers of the onion and learn some things I didn't know. So if you're not already at TigerIllustrated.com, now is a great time to join and take in this week-long series that wraps up on Sunday. My good friends Blake Smith and Brooke Archenhold have been part of the podcast since the beginning, way back in August of 2018. They have an accomplished team of personal injury attorneys at Parham, Smith, and Archenhold based in Greenville. They are Clemson people, and their skillful attorneys have decades of experience in complicated litigation matters, taking a special interest in medical malpractice, nursing home abuse and neglect, car accident cases that have left the individuals involved in serious trouble. For a free consultation at Parham, Smith, and Archenhold, call 864-990-4581 or online at parhamlaw.com. That's PARHAM law.com. When you're ready for a complete renovation in your home or business, open the door to more with Harris Home and Harris Commercial. Their local experienced team will totally transform any room space, from beautiful floor coverings to construction to finished details. Harris handles every step of your renovation process, whether it's a kitchen or living room or an industrial or educational setting, like some of the positively stunning work they've done at Clemson University. Go to discoverharris.com and experience a total renovation transformation from Harris Home and Harris Commercial. Solero Communications, formerly known as Tandem Payment, is a full-service integrated electronic payments provider powered by leading-edge technology. Solero provides a wide array of merchant solutions, simplified payments. They make onboarding, taking payments, maintaining risk management and compliance, and getting support quick and easy. At Solero, they're all about helping you achieve sustainable growth as a business. Taking payments isn't the only thing your business needs. With Solero's solutions, you can manage inventory, sell products and services via social media, schedule staff, track sales, get reports, and much, much more. Find out more about Solero at solerocommerce.com. That's CELERO commerce.com. Okay, as part of the Dabo retrospective idea, we decided to go back and pull some of the press conference audio from 2008 when Dabo was promoted to interim coach, through the Boston College victory, which was actually the coaches show with Pete Yannity at that time. And then, of course, the press conference after the victory over South Carolina that sealed the job for Dabo. I want to credit the YouTube feed of Adam Kane, who goes by My Blood Runneth Orange, MBRO, on TigerIllustrated.com. Really cool glimpse here back to a monumental time in Clemson history. Enjoy.
And good evening, everyone. I'm Mark Allen with Carol Goldsmith. We're awaiting a news conference out of Clemson University with the new interim football coach.
Dabo Swinney is set to talk any time now. He is on the Clemson football coaching staff. He's temporarily filling the spot left vacant today by Tommy Bowden. We're going to take you to Jeff Hart, who is standing by at the news conference. Jeff, you have been working on this story all day, and you broke this news at noon, right?
Absolutely right, Carol, and certainly the news progressing here as we go through the day. And Clemson saying earlier in the press conference with both Tommy Bowden and Terry Don Phillips, the athletic director, that Tommy Bowden stepped down. He was given the opportunity to continue coaching this season, but they said at this point it was best that the two sides are separated. And so Dabo Swinney, that is now the assistant head coach, now the interim head coach for the final 6 games of the season, and will have an opportunity to coach his way into possibly becoming the permanent head coach. That remains to be seen over what happens over the final half dozen games of the season. Clemson will play Georgia Tech here in Death Valley coming up at noon on Saturday. So we're getting ready for the press conference to begin. The Clemson players just had their first practice under Dabo Swinney and spoke to a number of players afterwards who thought that possibly the change could spark a difference in the team. The team certainly needing something coming off disappointing efforts against Maryland and Wake Forest to fall to 3-3 overall, 1-2 in the ACC. And it was a very emotional James Davis, the talented running back, who spoke to the media and got very emotional, got very choked up, and certainly the loss of Coach Bowden meant an awful lot to him, something you'll see on WIFF News 4 coming up at 11 o'clock tonight. So that is the scene from here as we're waiting for Sports Information Director Tim Bray to bring in in the new interim coach, Dabo Swinney, who is in his 6th year now with the Clemson Tigers, is the receivers coach. And also with Swinney now taking over, there have been some position changes. Offensive coordinator Rob Spence has been let go, and Swinney was expected to call the plays from the sideline, along with Billy Napier, who was the tight ends coach, who is now going to be coaching the quarterbacks, and Napier is now in charge of the quarterbacks, going to be calling plays with Dabo Swinney coming up on Saturday in what is a very important game for the Tigers against Georgia Tech. Sure, they're in bad shape here in the ACC, but not mathematically eliminated. They need some help from some other teams, but Terry Don Phillips, the athletic director, is saying still the number one goal still on the table for them, at least they hope so, and that is winning an ACC championship. The Tigers, of course, will have to make a lot of improvements if that is to happen the way they've played the last couple of weeks. They certainly haven't looked like an ACC championship contender. So, Mark, Carol, we'll continue to wait here. What's on your mind?
Well, tell us a little bit more. Tell us what you know about Dabo Swinney. We know that he's 39 years old, a native of Alabama. The thing I found intriguing is that when he came to the Crimson Tide, he was a walk-on and kind of grew from there.
Yeah, a guy that grew up as a huge Alabama fan, a native of Alabama, walked on as a receiver, made it onto the team. And one of those guys that probably as he grew up was told, you're too small, you're too short, and you can't play at the Division I level. And is one of those guys that likes to overcome the odds, is a real fiery guy. The players like him very much, so he has that going for him. And, of course, this Clemson team has a couple of former head coaches in Brad Scott and Vic Cohen. Yet they go with Dabo Swinney, the assistant head coach. So he has been considered one of the real up-and-comers in college football. So they've got a very good guy here for sure. Question is what happens here over the final 6 games of the season under Dabo Swinney. But he has an opportunity to certainly coach his way into becoming the permanent head coach of the Clemson Tigers. But he is not a guy without enthusiasm, not a guy without personality. So we're going to see lots of that in the coming weeks. And talking to players after practice tonight, they enjoyed the first practice. They'll see some changes. There's going to be some wrinkles, as they call it in college football, some changes to the offense. But they can't completely change everything, of course, because they've got a system through 6 games, and you just can't scrap all of that. So the Tigers have had many problems on the offensive line. There are some things that need to be fixed quickly. Willie Korn is the new quarterback. After practice tonight, he said there is no change. He is still the starting quarterback. But Cullen Harper is going to have an opportunity to possibly win his job back should Korn falter. That is what Harper told us after practice tonight. At least that's exactly what Coach Swinney told him. So it'll be interesting to see what unfolds here with some of the coaches changing positions, taking over new spots with Napier at the quarterback position, and Dabo Swinney now overseeing this football team. And we'll see if it's the spark that the Clemson Tigers need. And as you saw here early today, certainly Coach Bowden ran this program with class, regardless of what you may say about him as a football coach. And the way he left here today, here at the press conference, not a lot of head football coaches show up for a parting press conference after they've stepped aside, but Coach Bowden was here today. So once again, we continue to wait. We look to the head coach's door and still waiting to see. And Dabo Swinney was hopping into the shower after practice, so we're still a few minutes away, it looks like. Mark and Carol?
All right, Jeffy wants to look his best when he's introduced everybody out there, I guess. Now, earlier today at the news conference,
exactly.
Jeff, which you were at 5:30 today, they were talking about Dabo Swinney, and as you mentioned tonight, they say he will interview for the head coaching position at the end of the season. Of course, a lot of that depends on how his team performs throughout the remainder of the season. But Terry Don Phillips, the athletic director, also said they're going to go nationwide with this search as well, correct?
Yeah, we've heard some other names that are certainly being thrown around, and at this point, how much do we know? There's a lot of speculation about a number of different coaches, from the Texas defensive coordinator to Bobby Johnson, the head coach at Vanderbilt. But certainly it's not exactly great journalism to be throwing all of this around right now, because it's simply speculation. So we don't necessarily want to be doing that. But I think when they had the departure today, they've got some guys in mind. And so they're going to be talking about those guys as they go down the stretch and how serious they get with them. And then of course, Dabo Swinney is going to be he's going to be in that mix, and will have an opportunity to make his case for being the Clemson head coach. And if he can be successful here down the stretch, he's going to have a foot up, obviously, because the players know him. Unless something changes here drastically over the last half of the season, he's a very popular coach. They like him. So he has a number of things going for him. And once again, he's considered really one of the up-and-comers in the world of college football. And get this, by the way, he became very disenchanted with the world of coaching for some time, and I believe he stepped away from coaching and became an insurance guy for some time until Coach Bowden went and got him and brought him aboard. And since then, he has been a tremendous recruiter. Many of the top guys that you see now playing for the Clemson Tigers, C.J. Spiller being one of the most notable, he recruited him. And so he's done a tremendous job recruiting. We're about to see what kind of a job he does as a head coach. All right, Dabo Swinney arriving. We'll send it up to the podium.
Welcome to the second press conference of our doubleheader today. Pleased to introduce Mr. Dabo Swinney as Clemson's interim head coach. He'll make a short opening statement, and then we'll take questions.
Okay, I appreciate all y'all showing up. Sure, there was a baseball game on tonight or something that might have been a little more interesting TV. I'm gonna apologize to you ahead of time. This is gonna be a pretty raw press conference, probably from some that you guys have had. I obviously hadn't prepared anything for this. And, let me just first start by just saying that this is a very bittersweet day for me. I've dreamed of being a head coach, but I certainly never dreamed of getting my first job this way. Tommy Bowden was my first coach at Alabama. He gave me my first opportunity as a player. Hired me here. He's been a great friend, great mentor. I love him. He's a good man, and he's done great for Clemson University. Unfortunately, this is the bad side of this business, and from an emotional standpoint, it's a very, very bittersweet day for me. From a professional standpoint, it's a great opportunity, and I'm going to take it and run with it and do the very best that I can. And try to do everything I can to keep Tim Bray as busy as possible for the next 7 weeks, which should be fun. But, I've worked my whole life to have an opportunity to lead a team, and, I'm not perfect. I don't claim to be perfect or have all the answers. I'm going to make some mistakes, but I promise you I'll make them full speed. There will be one gear, and that's wide open, and that's the way I expect the team to play. And we may make some mistakes, but we're going to make them full speed. I am very excited about, having a chance to, see if we can have a fresh start around here. Had a great meeting with the team today, one-on-one meeting with those guys. They responded like I hoped they would, and I'm excited to see what we can do from this point on. With that, I'll take some questions.
You arrived at the office today probably not thinking that at 8 o'clock tonight you'd be sitting here. I mean, just kind of describe how your day went when you found out what was going on. That kind of.
Well, kind of like 1990 when I was a sophomore at Alabama and hadn't sniffed the field. And I swear to you, Woody McCorvey didn't know my name. And I had just been through a spring and a summer with him, and I'm over there on the scout team getting ready to do my daily job for Coach Oliver. And, out of the blue, Coach McCorvey, he starts calling my name over from the other field, and I sit there, and I'm like, did I miss class? Was I late for something? I'm trying to think, what did I do? And, literally, he called me over there out of the blue, and he told me, he said, Dab, that's what he called me. He said, Dab, he said, I need somebody, and he might not have said it this nice, those of y'all know Woody. He said, Dab, I need somebody to catch the football. He said, I'm going to give you a chance today. If you catch the ball, I'm playing you this Saturday. Now, I don't know if he was trying to fire them other guys up or not. He, to this day, won't admit. That was my opinion. But that was my big break and my great opportunity. And I took it and ran with it. And I went on and led her 3 years and got a scholarship. And here I sit today. And so to answer your question, that's what it felt like, because I certainly didn't see it coming. And, I had to get my wife to bring me some clothes. I came in here with sweatpants and a shirt on. We were, studying the Blitz package today. And, But that's how things happen in life. Things happen quickly. That's why you always have to prepare. And I'm going to do everything I can to make Clemson proud. One of the things I talked about to the team and talked about to the coaches is, and I've got a little saying on my desk that I've had for years and years and years that says there is nothing less important than the score at halftime. And that's where we are. We're at halftime. And it really doesn't matter about the last 6 games. What matters is what we do this point forward. Whether we were 6-0 or 0-6, or you're up 12 points at half or down 12, it really doesn't matter. What matters is what we do this point forward, and I'm going to do everything I can to do the very best I can. And, one thing I don't want to do is look back in December and say, I wish I should have done this. I wish I'd have done that. You're looking at a coach that has nothing to lose. So, we're going to lay it all on the line, and might be a 7-week career, but it's going to be fun.
The decision not to retain Rob Spence, talk about that, and then talk about what your plans are offensively and how they might differ from what's been done to this point.
Well, the decision to move in a different direction from Coach Spence was mine. Let me say this. I love Coach Spence. I've enjoyed my time with him. He's one of the best offensive guys I've worked with. He knows a lot of football. I've learned a lot of football from him. But this is a situation where if you're going to have a fresh start, it's just kind of time for a change and move in a different direction. And that's really what it boiled down to. Offensively, we're gonna do the best we can under the circumstances. Short week. Coach Scott will stay with Brad Scott will stay with the offensive line. I'm going to promote Mike Dooley, our offensive GA. He's going to move on to the field as our tight end coach. I'm going to move Ron Solkowski, our video GA, as our on-the-field GA, and he'll assist Mike Dooley with the tight ends. Going to move Billy Napier to quarterbacks. Billy will assist me with the game planning and with play calling as well. I will handle the good majority of that. But Billy, as I learned today, it's hard to be in all those meetings and sit there and a lot of things going in a lot of different directions. And so, that's something that I'm going to have to, get balanced over the next few days. But I got a lot of confidence in Billy. He'll do a great job in assisting me. And then I'm gonna promote Jeff Scott full time. I'm going to move him over to help me with the wide receivers and kind of train him up and tutor him on what we're doing there. He'll do a great job. He's a heck of a young coach. Both of those guys, Mike Dooley and Jeff Scott, will be able to recruit immediately. And Derek Riley, also a video GA, will move on the field for defense and will be the on-the-field defensive GA. So that's what we'll do from an offensive standpoint and a staff standpoint. And I was real pleased. Had a chance to meet with every coach individually today, and had great visits with all of them. I think they're all on board. This is a win-win for everybody. There's a lot of incentive for us to go try to do a good job, but no more incentive greater than what's best for these players. And as I sit here today, I want to make that very clear. It's not about Coach Bowden. It's not about me. It's not about the staff. It's about these kids. It's about this football team. It's about these seniors that have been here for 4 and 5 years that came here with a hope and a promise. It's about them leaving here feeling good about what they've accomplished and being proud of the decision that they made 4 and 5 years ago. And that's what it's going to be about. As long as I'm here, that's what it's going to be about. It's going to be about these kids sitting in this room. And, I'm excited to get to work with them. Thought we had a good practice tonight. They bounced around good. And, we'll see if we can get after it a little bit better tomorrow.
What about the quarterback decision? Tommy had told us Willie Corn was going to start. Have you rethought that?
No, we're going to go Willie Corn. And, it's one of the things I told the players today. This is a game of performance, not potential. And one of the things I always say is if you're the best guy, be the best guy. There's no hidden agendas here, as I told these players. So let's don't talk about it. If you're the best guy, you take your opportunity, you run with it, you be the best guy. The film doesn't lie. If you're not, we'll make a change. Simple as that. So, yeah, we're going to go with Willie Corn, and I have all the confidence in the world he's going to do a great job. But I also have confidence in Cullen, and Cullen has got to be ready to go in and win the game. And, those guys got to be ready. And I challenge both of them in front of the team because we're going to be a family. And, there's no agendas with this guy and that guy and all this kind of stuff. This is going to be everybody unified and playing as one, all on one heartbeat. It's not going to be a me deal. It's going to be a we thing. And whether it's Cullen Harper or Willie Corn, whoever, if we run them out there, that's who we expect to get the job done. If they're not getting the job done, hey, we'll make a change. As simple as that. This ain't complicated. And it ain't no difference than any other position. Hey, if Ricky Sapp don't want to show up and play, we'll put the next guy in there. C.J. Spiller don't want to play the way Clemson needs to be represented, we'll put the next guy in there. It doesn't matter. And we're going to line up, and we're going to find 11 guys that want to be hitters on the field and play with a passion that just shows when you turn the film on. They may not always do the right things, but there should be a passion that jumps out. That's what we got to have, and that's what we're going to demand. And I think the guys bought in well today, and we'll see what happens on Saturday.
Were you to believe that quarterback change had to be made coming out of last Thursday night?
Well, we discussed it as a staff, and, I think it was a situation. And let me say this. It ain't all Cullen Harper's fault by any stretch of the means. There's not one segment on this football team that can sit there and put their chest out and say, boy, I've played great the whole season. Not one segment. It's not all on Cullen Harper. But sometimes you need a spark. Sometimes you got to make a change to see if something can create a little more energy or whatever. And Willie is a scrambler, and he's got a great pocket presence and things like that. And sometimes it's good for a guy to take a step back and just kind of get a different perspective. All right, sometimes that's good too. But I wouldn't be surprised one bit to see Cullen Harper lead this football team at some point to a great victory. I wouldn't be surprised at all. I believe Cullen Harper is an NFL prospect. I believe he's going to play in the NFL. I believe that. But, this is about doing it right here. And, obviously he's made some mistakes just like every other position. But I believe in Willie Corn. I believe in Cullen Harper. We're going to give Willie a shot this week, and we'll see what he does. Does with it. But there's a agreement amongst the staff. We felt like this was a good thing for all involved. I visited with Willie. I visited with Cullen, and I think both of their attitudes are great.
Dabo is the biggest obstacle for this football team.
What's that?
What's the biggest obstacle? Is it the offensive line? What do you see as the
Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech's the biggest obstacle for this football team. There's no excuses. And I told these guys that today. I don't want to hear all that. These guys are on full scholarship. We got a job to do. I don't care, who you are, if you walk on, scholarship. We got a job to do. There's no excuses, period. If we don't get it done, hey, it's on me. There's no excuses. And we got to line up, and we got to hit people in the mouth and play like we're supposed to play. And if the guy in there ain't getting it done, put the next guy in there. If we got to run 2 plays, that's what we're going to do, run 2 plays. If that's what it takes. All right, we're not going to be, all things to all people, but we're going to be one thing. That's tough guys, and we're going to line up. And if you're on that field, because when I grade the film, it's going to be one thing: effort. If it's not the effort that we need and that we're demanding, next guy. Simple as that.
Yeah, but did you hesitate at all when they offered you this job?
I didn't get a chance to hesitate. Terry Don, and let me say this too. I really appreciate the trust that Terry Don and the administration has given me, in that they've, we have a lot of great coaches on this staff, but they chose me to lead the team at this time, and so I look at that as an honor, and I really appreciate that. It's a privilege. But he walked in and said, "Listen, this is." Sometimes things happen like this in this business. I'm sorry. Dabo, you're in charge. You're calling the shots. Come see me. So it was pretty, sudden like that, and really didn't, have a chance to have any discussion until I went and sat down with him, and I felt a lot better after I visited with him and how he laid things out, and just very appreciative of the confidence he's got.
With the movements you've made to reassemble the staff, it sounds as if you had some things in your mind already, as if I were in charge, this is what I would do. Did you have a book already, Rick?
No. I have a head coach book, that I've prepared for several years as far as philosophies and staff things and things like that. But nothing for this situation. I had about an hour to decide, okay, what's got an hour, what's the best direction for this football team, these kids, these coaches, everybody involved, for the Clemson fans, Clemson family, in trying to create some positive energy and get everybody to rally behind these kids. I'm tired of the negative, and I'm tired of it, for these kids, because they work their butts off every day. They go to class every day, and they come over here, and they work, and they show up, and they're playing hard. They've played hard, and I hate it for them. All they hear, all they read about, all people call them about is something negative. And that's something we got to stop. And so as I thought about different things, my mindset was, okay, what's best for these kids? What's best to alleviate any negativity, tension, and let's go have some fun. Let's go play ball. Let's cut it loose. Don't be afraid to make mistakes, and let's have fun.
Yeah, well, obviously there's limits to what you can change in the middle of the season like this. But at the same time, there's probably some things you can do. Just from an offensive standpoint, can you give us any general ideas about maybe some things you don't need to do anymore, or some things you'd like to do that you haven't done?
No. I'd say show up for the next 6 weeks, 7 weeks, and we'll that'll paint the picture for itself. But for me to sit here and say, oh, well, we're going to do more of this and more of that and less of this and less of that, well, we got opponents to play. And they're going to have one game on us Saturday. And we got 4 days. The staff's in there right now going full speed, game planning. No, I'm not going to say anything. But hopefully what we put on the field will be 11 guys playing as one and doing whatever it takes to win.
How does the team become tough in 4 days? You're talking about we got to be tough and we're going to hit people in the mouth.
Well, I think there is toughness on this football team. I don't think it's something that's not here. I just think it's getting it across the board and getting everybody to buy in. And that's going to be a big goal of mine, every day in practice and as we go through this game. It's just something you have to coach every single day. Every single day you have to coach toughness. And that's what we're going to do.
You're talking about this psychological for the restoration. How did this program get to this low point that it's at, or that it was?
Lost 3 ball games. If I had all the answers to that, I wouldn't be sitting here right now. We'd fixed it back then. But there's, I don't know. Sometimes I don't. And there's things that happen in your life that sometimes it's hard to explain why. You work hard, you bust your butt. You sit in there, you game plan, you work for hours, you practice for hours, and some things don't. Sometimes things don't go the way you planned or the way you wanted them to go, and that's a very disappointing thing. And a lot of people have to deal with that. But this game of football, what it teaches you is so many things that it teaches you about life is that, hey, you keep working. You be honest. You fix the problems. You work at it. You get back up. You go back to work. You have bad days at your office, I'm sure. You Post and Courier, you ever have a bad day down there? I'm sure somebody dogs you down there, I'm sure. You have bad days. You have, and for you it may be writing a terrible article on a Saturday, and you get all these bad emails. Well, what the heck was he thinking? For us, it's losing a ball game. And let me tell you something, and I don't want to use the word close, but listen, we don't have to, create a nuclear weapon here or build a rocket. This is football. This isn't rocket science. And what we got to do is we got to, eliminate a couple mistakes. We got to play a little smarter. I'd play a little tougher. We got to play a little bit more together. And hopefully this staff will be able to do that, and the senior leadership on this team will be able to have a great second half to the season.
How was a meeting with Rob? And, that must have been tough. One of the first things you have to do is talk to him, a guy you respect. And how did he handle it?
Most difficult thing I've ever had to do. And Rob handled it with class. Rob is a class individual. He's a great husband. He's a great father. And absolutely, I can't even begin to sit here and tell you how difficult that was. To be in this seat for an hour and to make a decision like that, that's not an easy thing to do. But thinking as a head coach and thinking about the whole big picture, felt like it was the best thing to do under the circumstances.
Knowing Tommy Bowden the way that you do, and knowing that throughout his time at Clemson, he's had his back against the wall at different times, but he seems to have always fought out of it and recovered. Are you a little surprised that he basically kind of gave up today and said, I got to take a bullet for the team, or it's just the best thing for me to get out of here and let somebody else run it?
Well, I don't know all the details of Coach Bowden and Terry Don's meeting, and I haven't even had a chance to talk to Coach Bowden in detail, or just briefly. Coach Bowden, he's a fighter to the end, and he's also, a guy that I respect, and once I know all the details and the whole situation, I might can better answer that. But one thing I would say he's not is a quitter, and there ain't no doubt about that. You can write that. Tommy Bowden's no quitter. Tommy Bowden is a winner. He's a competitor. He's a good man. I know that God will have a plan for him, and he'll land on his feet.
Kind of been painted a little bit, and some of the quotes from the players earlier today kind of fed that maybe there's some dissension, or maybe that Coach Bowden had started to lose the team a little bit. Can you address that? And if that's the case, how do you get that unity back you're talking about?
Well, no, I can't address that. I'm not going to address things that may have happened or may not have happened. I don't know. I didn't see that. I didn't see there any issues there as far as dissension on the team. One thing I complimented the team on today is there's been no finger pointing. Man, this defense has played their tails off for 2 ball games, and none of these guys have finger pointed or this. Same thing with the coaches. Guys have just gone to work, and so I commended the team and complimented them. But my job is to try to lead these guys, to love these guys, to get them to love each other, and to get them to play hard and to believe in each other and get back to back and circle the wagons and believe in what we're doing and believe that we can have a special season. And we still have the opportunity to do that. There's a lot of things still on the table for this football team. I can't sit here and tell you I can see the future. I have no idea. All I can tell you is the guys that run out there this Saturday and every Saturday the next month and a half or 2 months, they're going to be playing with their hair on fire, and that's the best we're going to do. But we're going to unify this group, and we're going to play as one heartbeat, everybody playing together. That's our only chance. If we don't do that, then, and as I told them, I gave every one of them the opportunity. If you can't do this, and this, and you need to go get your stuff out of your locker and head on out of here. And your scholarship is honored. But if you show up on that practice field tonight, you better be all in, And my thing is, hey, our backs are against the wall, coaches. But you ever watch that old poker show on TV, the ESPN? Boy, I love that poker show. We got pocket tens. We don't have a great hand, but we got a chance. And so we're going all in. And I need these players to be all in. And we'll see what happens.
How did things change on Saturday for you in terms of being on the sidelines? You're very much, I see you get very animated, excited, playing Coach Wood. Have you thought about how things will now kind of change for you, in addition to the various play calling you will now do and that different demeanor, maybe you're forced into it.
Y'all act like this happened last week or something. Heck no, I ain't thought about that. I got a lot to think about. For sure, we're going to put Billy Napier up top. Probably we'll put Jeff Scott up top. Going to really need two real good sets of eyes up there to make sure we know what's going on and we're on the same page as we game. But let me tell you something, guys. You believed. You're one. And I hope you learned something tonight. You can do anything. Oh, yeah. If you believe, you stay together, you fight, you persevere, play after play after play for 60 minutes. You can do anything.
Outside 30, Taylor. And it's blocked again!
Hi, everybody. Welcome into the Clemson Football Show here in Chestnut Hill, Massachusetts on Saturday. What a thrilling victory, 27-21. Tigers beat BC. Congratulations to Dabo Swinney. How about that? Your first win as a head coach, and, of course, a signature thrilling win at that.
Well, I appreciate it. You know, nobody said it would be easy, and, you know, it certainly wasn't easy today, and, you know, I'm so proud of the football team, our fans, you know, do something that hasn't been done since 1958 and never here at Chestnut Hill. I couldn't be prouder of these players and our coaches.
For all that you've been talking to the team about and emphasizing with the ball club over these 3 or 4 weeks or so, all that character and all that perseverance really came out in the fourth quarter when you fell behind after leading at 1 point, 17-0, then came back and got the win.
Well, I've been for 2 weeks or however long I've been doing this, I've been hitting that tree in the same spot. You know, just keep hitting the same spot in the tree. And it finally fell today. Yep. It finally fell. These kids have believed. They've been all in. And I talked to them before the game about poise, you know, winning with class and expecting to win and a mentality. I've been talking about that all week and playing 60 minutes. We made mistakes, but they found a way to win, and that was the goal today, was to find a way to win the game.
Yeah, this was a textbook game for showing character coming back. When we look at the highlights momentarily, you're going to see great examples of that. Much more to come when the Clemson Football Show continues after this.
Next, we'll check out this week's first half highlights. Brought to you by Bilo, the official supermarket of Clemson Athletics. By Coca-Cola Zero, real Coke taste and 0 calories. By Allstate, you're in good hands. And by Ubi. Ubi fits you. Ubi is for life.
Back on the Clemson Football Show, big win for the Tigers against BC. The first victory for a Clemson team against a Boston College team since 1958. And this one was for the O'Rourke McFadden Trophy for the first time. So you got yourselves a piece of hardware in the process.
It has a big trophy, and I almost dropped that thing over there in front of our fans, but I recovered. So I'm really proud that we were able to represent Clemson with a win.
You had 2 weeks between the last game and the game on Saturday to kind of put some more into the offense. And, you know, straight ahead is how I would describe the offensive attack. You guys just kept attacking, going downfield, really not that much out in the flat, or at least nothing that didn't get you positive yards.
Well, we did some things up front to give ourselves a little bit better chance against these guys. They're hard to run the ball on. You know, the game plan was to try to get our skill in space, and we were able to do that. But we were able to hit some things downhill on them.
Yeah.
They made some adjustments on some of our outside running game, which allowed us to, you know, take advantage of some things inside.
Our first half
of our
highlights.
offensive line.
Yeah, the highlights in the first half presented by Arthur State Bank, the king of free. And early on, the defense was tested and really came through.
The defense played great today. We just had a couple of, you know, probably the biggest thing I can remember was they hurt us with the draw once or twice, and then fourth down, we missed a sack right before they scored a touchdown. But they answered the call all night long, and they hit some guys. DeAndre McDaniel had a couple of hits. I didn't know if the guys were going to get up.
Yeah, and in one case, a real decisive hit later in the game.
Nice job here by Chris Clemens, you know, getting the tackle on a nice play by them. This was a great block by James Davis and Tyler Grisham outside, which set this play up. You know, that's what C.J. Spiller can do. There's Aaron Kelly downfield hustling, trying to make a block. But it all started with a very unselfish key block by James Davis. That's that's what it's all about.
56 yards on the play.
Speak of James Davis, here's Thunder doing his thing, and downhill, another good job blocking inside, and James Davis did the rest.
Nice job to run away from the defender right there. 7-0 ball game. Earlier you turned it over at midfield, you denied them points, and then you take the lead moments later, so you're up 7-0. Look at this hit.
How about old Nelson Ferber? He's as tough as they come. Doggone it, ball's on the ground in the red zone. We got to get that ball. But defense playing very, very well.
But you do get the ball back, good field position. Cullen did a nice job creating space, and here he finds a receiver underneath. Jacoby Ford was that Grisham.
That's Grisham taking a good hit, and gave us a chance to put a little bit on the punt. He had a 3rd and long situation there. This is, again, CJ returning the punt, doing a nice job, really nice job here. And then, coughs it up. That's we can't do that. We cannot give the ball away, and that's got to be something that's got to stop if we're gonna make a run at this thing.
First quarter continues. Moments later, they call.
That's what it's all about. It's offensively, it's protecting it, and defensively, it's getting it. And our defense did a great job of getting the ball. What a big play, throw and catch here by Cullen and Tyler Grisham. Something we felt like we would be able to hit, and it was nice to see us execute. And then right back again, a different way, same type version play, and CJ Spiller does the rest. And almost got in there.
And then what a great fake sold by Harper right there.
Great job by Cullen. Good read. That's a little zone read, and he did a nice job of hitting it tight to give us a touchdown.
Chris Crane, their guy, you must have had more quarterback hurries today than you had all year combined in that game on Saturday.
Well, he gets rid of it quick. That's what they do. And so our defense did a good job of pressuring, and for the most part, when he did complete them, we were hitting him. We were tackling him.
You maintain a 14-0 lead in the second quarter. They miss a field goal. Here, again, underneath in the defense, and they're good tight end, and you don't let them get yards after the catch.
Which is critical against these guys. So Cavell Connor, I remember that one right there. He left his feet earlier in the game, and right here he just ran right through the guy. And there's some gang tackling. Kevin Alexander, DeAndre McDaniel making plays. Nice job by Cullen working the pocket there.
So as you get closer to halftime, trying to move the ball downfield.
This was a play we designed where we had 2 posts, and we had Aaron Kelly coming across the field, and we knew we would be able to high-low. We'd either hit Aaron or CJ underneath. They dropped underneath Aaron, and we hit CJ, and he did the rest.
You talked about a CJ is a step faster on the artificial surface, and he showed that Saturday.
Yeah, I'm going to see if I can get all of our games moved to our practice field, see if we can play on this field turf. He seems to like that stuff.
Late in the half, you end up settling for a Buckholz field goal, but still 17-0 at the break on the road. Certainly a great way to go into the locker room.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
Welcome back to the Clemson Football Show. The Tigers the win in Chestnut Hill against Boston College. Time now for the Napa Chalk Talk segment, brought to you by your Napa Auto Parts store in South Carolina, where Tiger fans get their auto parts. And with a C.J. Spiller play in the first quarter, set up the opening touchdown. Even though it was an end around from left to right, it reminded me of the play his freshman year here when you threw the little swing pass to him.
Yeah, we call that Sammy. And we ran the old Sammy play, and it's I'm glad you chose this play as the chalk talk play, because this is a great example of team play and guys being unselfish and understanding if they do their job, good things can happen.
You really had somewhat of a misdirection element in the offense, and this is an example of it in the game Saturday.
Yes, right here. Really proud of, as you watch this play, you'll see where James Davis made a key block, a very key block of the play. And we're trying to get to the grass, and then you'll see Tyler Grisham with a big block, and you'll see Aaron Kelly downfield with a block. Guys hustling, being unselfish, and trying to make a difference with the ball and without the ball in their hands.
Spiller did a great job at the end of the play to get some extra yards, but drawn up well by you, Coach Swinney, and the offensive staff. It's Napa Chalk Talk segment, and now we move on to the BB&T Student Athlete of the Week.
Thomas Austin, center, junior from Camden, South Carolina. And we knew that we'd be thrown into the fire against Alabama, and kind of, and then after that, we had 3 or 4 game stretch there where we got more experience and played some smaller, 1AA schools, which is good for us to get some experience under our belt and start, gelling as a unit. But it's also been tough. We've had several injuries, and we've probably had 4 or 5 different starting lineups. And so that's been tough to adjust, but the guys have really stepped up to the challenge and have done well thus far. All season we heard about how talented we were, but the offensive line. And so I think guys really took that upon themselves and took pride in the fact that we didn't want to be the weak link and played with a chip on our shoulders. And so it's definitely a motivation through the off season and into the summer and through camp, and it's continued to motivate us through the year. It's definitely an adrenaline rush, and not much to be said. I think it's one of the most exciting things in college football, and it's definitely unique to our university, and so there's a lot of pride in that. And when you rub that rock, that you got to give 110%, and if you don't, you have no reason touching it. And so, you're kind of making a pact with the rest of the team when you do that. I think it's easy as a fan to see the results on Saturday and base your opinion on players or coaches on that. And I think that a lot of people don't know how much work goes into it. And where we start in January and we work all the way through August, and not a whole lot of time off. So it's a commitment that we've made to this program and to each other, and I think it'll pay off for us. Wins and losses are very important to us. No one likes losing, but at the same time, there's a lot of important things that don't show up on paper.
First of all, I want to give what honor should be due, what it should be given to us, and that's the Lord Jesus Christ. To come out here and get a win against a tough team like them, we knew they were going to battle back. They did it every time we played them, but our defense held up, and Aaron Kelly made a big play right there at the end to go up. So just go to shows a lot about the character of this team. We faced adversity at the end, we overcame it, walking away with a win.
It was very frustrating. It looked like we had the momentum most of the game, and then it almost felt like, oh man, here it goes again. But this team has really come together this past couple weeks, and we really talked about how hard we worked, and we really deserved to win, and to never give up, and to play for 60 minutes, because you never know what can happen if you play for 60 minutes. And the team just never gave up, and we were able to make the plays that the other games we weren't able to make.
That was the Carolina Ford Locker Room Report, brought to you by your Carolina Ford dealers. Host of Back on the Clemson Football Show, congratulations, this guy, Dabo Swinney, first career win, but not without the drama of the second half. You took a 17-0 lead into the third quarter, and you got the ball first. I know you wanted to maybe keep that momentum going your way there in the third quarter.
No doubt about it. I told the team at halftime that we'd get their best shot, and I wish we'd have played a little bit better, but, as things turned out, probably is the best thing for the team that we won the way we did, because hopefully it'll just reinforce that if they believe, stay together, they can overcome adversity. And one of my key things has been playing with poise, and they showed a lot of poise in the second half.
And our second half highlights presented by Hot Springs Pools and Spas. They're number one for good reason. In the third quarter, a little tunnel screen. Aaron Kelly, he was quiet in the first half. You got him going in the second half.
Going right there with a little 9-yard gain. And here's Cullen right here scrambling around. Missed an opportunity. We've got to make that play right there on a scramble.
Crane, the guy who had the burden of taking over from Matt Ryan, he did a good job just to get any yards out of the pocket.
Look at that pursuit. Yeah, that's what you want to see on defense. Guys hustling, and this was just a poor decision. We should have worked the other side of the field, and just a wrong read in our progression.
So they're set up in great shape. Nice extra effort by their freshman Hayden. He gets into the end zone 17-7. Back you come.
Nice job on the perimeter, trying to get the ball on the edge. Aaron Kelly doing a good job. Michael Palmer, Jacoby Ford with a nice play. Good job by Cullen here scrambling. Make it, whoop, pop
nice
it up there.
You practice that with the wide receivers,
yeah, that's our little tip drill there. Really disappointed here. We got a big third down, and we had a holding call there. Now we're just trying to come back and get a little something going here, get something on the field goal, set up a nice field goal there. If that was a third and long situation, and I believe this is the one we missed.
First one missed this year, yeah.
First miss by old Buck Holtz, and I think later on in the game we came back and kicked one, and I said, "You gonna make it?" He said, "Yes, sir." I said, "Well, we're gonna kick it." And
they went for it on a fake punt, and they got a first down, and that was a pretty key part of the game. But again, your defense just kept responding. They did
a great job pursuing, and never really gave number 10 a chance to get in a rhythm and set his feet. He was dancing around all day, and he's a nifty guy though. Old guy can do some scrambling. How about old DeAndre McDaniel right there?
And Cavell Connor. Boy, 30. They're going to have nightmares about 33.
Nice job by Tyler Grisham again. Good job blocking by Aaron Kelly, Michael Palmer trying to create a little running game. Great job by Aaron Kelly again. Then Jacoby does the rest. We were very smart with how we used those bubbles to complement our running game.
You go to the fourth quarter, 10-point lead. At this point, you weren't sure if CJ would come back in the game. He had his bell rung, but he does return. However, here's when the defense steps up again. Look at that.
Scotty Cooper in there, Kevin Alexander, all those guys running a stunt here with Ricky Sapp coming around. And, man, this guy's got Darrell Scott and Sapp chasing him. He's looking for somewhere to get rid of it.
Now, fourth quarter progressing. Again, it seemed like the clock
right
wouldn't wind down. And then dangerous right here and the punt block.
That's a shame. We had a little bust, had a busted assignment on the punt team there. And, you know, that was a very critical part in the game. Momentum's a big thing. And, you know, C.J. Spiller answered with a great return to give us a chance. We throw the pick right here. And, you know, again, these are mistakes that we've got to correct if we're going to, you know, win some games or down the stretch here.
Wes Davis had the interception, set him up in fine fashion.
Great job here by the defense. I believe that was set up, was this the fourth down when they threw the touchdown? We got him sacked. You know, we got to make that play. Got to make the play. But they, you know, good job by them making a play to take the lead, and then, you know, here, you know, CJ's going to make a play to set us up here to have a chance to win the game. And
you can just tell, I mean, there's almost like just concern among all the coverage guys because they know just one glimpse of daylight for CJ, and he's gone 64 yards to the 15-yard line.
Yeah, nice, not a poise by the offense here. This is a big throw and catch by old Michael Palmer, Cullen Harper putting it on the money, and then how about this play by number 80? How about that?
Wow, great catch.
You know, he breaks a record that's been here for about 50 years, and he dropped the game winner last year, and now he catches the game winner.
Yeah, that's right.
That's what football's all about.
And look how great concentration. He's got the man there. Now, it's going to be a pass interference anyway, but he only needs to get one foot in.
I think he got them both in.
Yeah, looks like it would have been an NFL touchdown.
When he came up, he said, Coach, it's a touchdown. How about this hit right here?
And you feel badly for Clarence Megwa, who suffered a serious injury, but DeAndre McDaniel, good clean hit.
Daquan Bowers scrambling around getting that ball. DeAndre McDaniel, Tallahassee, Florida. What a hit right there. Look at James Davis. This is what I call taking the game over and putting the team on your shoulders. Big time kick by Buck Holtz. You know,
look at Michael Wade celebrating. He knew it was good.
We had a lot of talk on whether we should kick it or go for it, and I said, you know, we didn't come up here to play scared. And Buck told me you can make it, and I said, well, go make it. And
great job by everyone from Rediger, the snapper, all the way through everybody else. And so now they're in a situation they got to try to get something going. You dime. That's the fourth down play that was out of bounds. And look at that. What a great win. You're first as the head coach. 27-21, and in a day that had become about 40 degrees, you get to get a little bit colder.
Hey, nothing like some orange Gatorade. It was sweet, better than water.
And now it's time for our Smile Play of the Game, presented by Delta Dental. And boy, what more can you ask?
Well, we knew the play we wanted. In fact, me and Billy Napier both said, hey, we're going to run this play here, and right at the same time. And you know, Cullen gave Aaron a chance to make a play on the ball, and so proud of Aaron Kelly. What a great throw and catch by these two young men. You know, who again, you know, he doesn't make a catch last year, and he comes back and makes the game winner and breaks the record. You know, so
50th career touchdown.
Just really proud of Aaron Kelly and what he's accomplished here.
And think about it. Harper made a bullet pass to Palmer to set that up, made that play, coming off having thrown 3 interceptions in the ball.
That's what it's all about. It's about the next play. And if you make a mistake, you know, you don't let it haunt you. And number 10 kept believing, and he made 2 money throws right there when all the chips were all in. They were all pushed in on the table. So I'm really proud of Cullen and 80.
And now it's time to go inside the huddle. C.J. Spiller with a memorable kick return of 64 yards to set up the go-ahead points. He talks about it.
I knew they were going to probably try to kick it over there to Jamie, so we had been working on it all week about switching, and you know, I just tried to make a play, you know, and I just seen them overflow, and I just tried using the speed much as possible, and that's just what Coach Swinney and them expect out of me. They expect me to make a big play, but I got to give credit to my guys up front for making those blocks. Jamie made a good block on number 35 to spring loose, and I just tried to do the best, do the rest of it.
Well, you got your first win, 1-1 under you. The ball club now 4-4 overall, 2-3. You go to Florida State. Just real quick, though, you had your game decided at the wire. Wake had to win in overtime. Georgia Tech won by 3 in the ACC, and Miami won in overtime. So a heck of a Saturday in this league. It just shows you what it's like week in and week out.
It's college football, and, you know, I'm blessed to be doing what I'm doing. I'm so thankful to have the opportunity to lead this team and this program. Thankful for our fans traveling all the way up here. And nobody said it'd be easy. And at Florida State, you know, we'll be ready. We'll have to go down there in their backyard, and you know, I think they're number 3 defense in the country and playing much better on offense. So be a huge challenge for us, and but we'll be looking forward to it.
Big battle next Saturday for position in the ACC Atlantic, and certainly should be a heck of a ball game. Tigers go at it against the Florida State Seminoles. We'll see you same time next week on the Clemson Football Show. For Coach Dabo Swinney, Pete Hannity saying so long. We'll see you soon.
Upstate foodies, want to take a moment to talk to you about our favorite taco spot, Willie Taco. 5 locations across the upstate. This award-winning team has been serving up fresh taco fusion for a solid decade now. The chefs at Willie Taco utilize the freshest, most creative, and sometimes unexpected ingredients in their kitchens. Come see why Southern Living, Garden and Gun, and Food and Wine Magazine are raving about Willie Taco and their signature offerings, such as their Southern Tide, Crispy Avocado, Nashville Hot Chicken Tacos, literally flavors you will not find anywhere else, folks. And don't forget about the cocktails. Super fresh margaritas, ice cold cerveza, and over 80 tequilas served up daily from behind the bar. So don't wait, folks. Your Willie Taco Familia is ready to serve you up their twist on funky, fresh fusion. It's the Willie way. Another loyal supporter of the Dubcast is Blackacre Law Firm in Greenville, a subsidiary of Parham Smith and Archambault. Blackacre helps South Carolina residents achieve their dreams of home ownership by providing experienced professional representation for real estate closings. Attention to detail is crucial in real estate law. Blackacre is committed to making sure nothing gets by them preparing residential or commercial closings. Blackacre also offers estate planning services for their clients in the Greenville area. Find out more about Blackacre at 864-326-3507. Want to share a quick word about Founders Federal Credit Union? If you've been to a sporting event in Clemson, you've probably heard about Founders already. They are the official credit union partner of the Clemson Tigers. In addition to that, all Clemson faculty, staff, and students are eligible for membership as well as IPTAY members. Its office is located beside the Walmart Neighborhood Market on Old Greenville Highway in Clemson. For more information, go to foundersfcu.com.
All right, y'all having any fun yet?
Yeah, we're waiting on you.
Well, sorry to keep you waiting. Great win, great win for this team, this program. Just cannot. First of all, I want to give all the glory to God for just guiding us through these last 7 weeks and giving us the strength to stick together. But I cannot say enough about this group of young men. 7 weeks ago when we met, just me and them, and we talked about some things. These kids have bought in, and they've taken the platform that they have been given when a lot of people didn't think they could do it, and they've made believers out of people. They've proved to people that the real glory is when you get knocked down, you get up and keep fighting, not quitting. And hopefully there's a lot of people out there that can learn something from these group of players that, things don't always go your way. Things don't always go the way you want them, but you still got a choice. You got a choice with your attitude. You got a choice with your work ethic every single day that you get up. And then if you stick together, you can do anything. And this is a close football team that has really grown close. They care about each other. They've learned a lot about each other the last 7 weeks. And, to do what they've done, 4 out of the last 5 in our toughest part of the schedule, 3 of them on the road. 2 of the opponents have 2 weeks to get ready for us. Great coaches. But these kids have made no excuses. They've just gone to work every day. Don't listen to what people say here and there and all that stuff. We've stuck together. And it's an awesome thing when you see a group of young men believe in something. So proud of their effort today. These seniors have been unbelievable. Just absolutely unbelievable. For them to be able to go out with a win like they had today over their state rival, that's something I know I'll never forget, and I know they won't either. They left their mark on this program today for forever. This group of seniors, James Davis and Cullen and Aaron and Tyler, and Rashad and Darrell and Jock. I mean, I go on and on and on. Clemens and Hamlin. I mean, what a special group of young men. Akeem Robinson, Bobby Hutch. Everybody playing a role, and everybody having a genuine appreciation for each other's role. That's what team's all about. So it was really, really fun to see. The game itself, a lot of big plays. We lost the momentum right there before the half, and with the turnover, good job by them capitalizing on it. And then they did a great job opening up. Went right through us and scored, and really took the momentum. But it's where we've grown as a football team. Our kids just went back to work, and they went and snatched the momentum back, stood up, and they didn't have an opportunity to anything else the rest of the day. But to be able to run the ball like we did, and to be able to stop the run like we did, that's how you win football games. You win the turnover battle. We're 5-0 now when we win it. When we're the more physical team, you know, we got a pretty good record around here. And I think we were the toughest team today. And proud of the guys for that, mentally and physically. And I'm really proud about what went on in the trenches, offensive line and defensive line. You know, the rest is just for show. You get it done in the trenches, you got a chance to win, and they stood up and made a statement today and led us. So, you know, proud. Jamie Harper, special teams, blocking a punt. Here's a young player giving everything he's got, try to send these seniors out with one more win here at Death Valley. And, you know, it's really, really good to see that. And what I'm seeing here is I'm seeing a football team, I'm seeing a group of young men starting to create the habit of winning. We talked about starting a winning streak. Well, you can't have a streak if you don't win one. You certainly can't have it if you don't win two. And it's not a streak if you don't win three. And so they put a nice streak together. And their mentality is changing into where they have an attitude of expectancy. They expect to win. They believe. And when you have that and you're good enough, good things can happen for you. But I'm so proud of you know, where they are right now mentally. It's been a good 7 weeks, and don't know about the bowl situation. We'll find out, but I'm glad they're going to get rewarded with a bowl. And with that, we'll take some questions.
Dabo, in your mind, did you earn this head coaching job? Did you, in your mind, after these 6 games?
Well, it's not about me, and I said that the very first time I met you guys. This is not about me. This game's about the players. This is a game that is about the players, and as long as I'm here, that's the way it's going to be. You know, people have to make decisions about jobs and things like that, and those are. My job was to get this football team ready to play. My job was to coach them up. My job was to, over a 7-week period, to hopefully teach them a little bit more about life than just football. Bring them together. That's my job. Somebody else's job to decide if they want me to continue here or somebody else. And quite frankly, I'm at peace either way. You know, and as I've said many times, no bitterness either way. People have decisions to make. There's tough decisions in every business. And certainly I'd love to be here. I'd love to continue what we started, but you know, that's out of my control.
So what is it like, you know, going through your head there when you hear all those 80,000 people chanting Dabo, Dabo?
Oh, it was awesome. I know that's like Britney Spears or something. It was great. You know, it's awesome. It was awesome. You know, we got great fans, and you know, but it's a very humbling thing. It's very, very humbling. You know, when people, you know, give you credit and all that kind of stuff, and appreciate something that you've tried to do, but it's just. You know, I wish I could take all that going on. We got great, great kids that have laid it on the line. We got a coaching staff that has busted their butt to get this thing done, and that's where the real glory credit goes. But you know, very humbling.
Dan, but when do you expect to hear something about this?
Well, we've had it scheduled. You know, I'll sit down with Dr. Phillips tomorrow, and tomorrow afternoon sometime. And, you know, I'm prepared for him. I've got. Everything ready to go.
What time?
Not sure yet. We just said we'd talk later on tonight and try to hammer out time. But you know, we're gonna go to church, and so it'll be sometime back to church, and we can get together. Look forward to meeting with him and talking about the future.
If you're not asked back, Dabo, what kind of mark do you feel like you've left on this program in just a half a season?
Well, hopefully I've made a difference for these players. You know, if I didn't do anything else the last 7 weeks, I hope I've made a difference in their lives as young men. That's really what my main objective was, and bring Clemson back together. I think we've done that. That was probably my 2 number 1 goals, and I hope that that's my mark. Is just, you know, embracing these fans, embracing these kids, and making a difference in their lives, and getting them to do something and believe in something bigger than themselves, and be a team. I think we're a team.
James Davis has kind of taken a back seat to C.J. Spiller at times on the field this season. How important was it for you guys to ride him today, in a sense, to the victory, and then at the end of the game for him to be down there in that section where the students are?
Well, it's very fitting, to end James Davis's career. What he's meant so much to this university. What he did up at Virginia last week, took over the game. You got to understand now. Here's a group of guys that 7 weeks ago had a choice. They could go this way or that way. And they chose to stand up and come together and compete. And James Davis is one of the great leaders on this team. These guys all, they could have got a cramp or an ankle all of a sudden's hurt, getting sick, lots of things. Made no excuses. They came together. And to see a guy like James Davis take this team on his shoulders these last 2 weeks is just very fitting in. I mean, you couldn't have scripted it any better. So I'm proud of him. I think, what do you have, 3 touchdowns today? 3 touchdowns. He's going to get a bowl game. It ain't over yet. He's still got more football to play, and I'm really, really glad that these young men are getting another game. We're one of 12 teams out of 119 that can have an opportunity to have 9 straight winning seasons, and we just did that. This senior class with one more win will be the first senior class since Levon Kirkland's 91 class to have 4 straight years of 8 or more wins. These guys have fought back in the face of adversity and done it under the toughest circumstances, and with making no excuses. So I'm proud of James and his leadership.
Dabo, as the head coach, is it satisfying to beat South Carolina? Just from a head coach's perspective,
Heck yeah. I mean, it's satisfying to beat anybody as the head coach. But this is a big rival game, and you know what it means to everybody in this state, to what it means to these players. I've been in rival games a long time, and it's sweet. It really is. It's a sweet thing when you can win. I've been here. I've been in 6 of them now, and we've won 5 of them, and they're all great. They're all sweet. They're all sweet. Head coach, assistant coach, manager. It don't matter. It's sweet.
What's it mean to beat Spurrier?
Well, I mean, he's a guy I have a ton of respect for. And I told him that on the field. He's one of the greatest ever. Been coaching against him and playing against him for a long time. Going back to Alabama, and it's an honor to be able to lead a football team out there against Coach Spurrier. Got just tons of respect for him. And, he was very gracious at the end of the game.
Will you coach in the bowl game?
Will I coach in the bowl game? Well, I assume. I plan on coaching the bowl game. I would think that would be the case, but I mean, you never know. If they make a change, they may want to bring somebody else in and do that. We'll find out. I guess we'll get those answers here shortly, but I certainly hope we'd be able to coach the bowl game and lead these kids into the final game to finish the season.
What the defense time frame on 4 turnovers to defense? Can you say, like, it kind of set the tempo for you?
Yeah, well, I mean, that's turnovers and being physical in the trenches. That's where you win games. And doggone it, we gave them one there. Still mad about that. We should have never given that last turnover, but could have had a couple more. We're catching the ball a lot better. Missed a few, but that's how you win games. And again, we're 5-0 when we won the turnover battle. So.
Yeah, but you have said that you're good enough to do this job and be the head coach. As you go into this meeting tomorrow, are you expecting, or your expectations are that it will be you eventually after you meet with Terry Don? Gives you some thought.
No real expectations. I mean, I'm confident in myself. If that's what you're asking me, I've prepared for this my whole life, and I know I'm only 39, but I feel like I'm 59. You coach at Alabama for a while in Clemson, you can do some dog years in a heartbeat. I have no doubts that I can do this job. I don't have any. I've got confidence. I didn't have any doubts when I walked on at Alabama at 165 pounds that I could play there. But that's just me. That's my makeup. That's part of my DNA. And hopefully I can get the opportunity to do it. Who knows?
How satisfied are you with the 4-2 record in the 6 games? I mean, just personally, are you satisfied with that?
Well, yeah. I mean, I wish we'd won them other 2, but you know, we didn't. We lost the Florida State game, and we've won every one since. You know, the Georgia Tech game, we had opportunities. We had opportunities in Florida State. Disappointed that we didn't go 6-0, but you know, to go 4-2 under the circumstances, with a lot of different dynamics involved in this process, you know, I'm very satisfied with what these kids have accomplished.
Has Terry Don given you a date on when you'll have the answers for whether you'll be coaching the bowl and
No.
No.
You plan on sleeping well tonight?
Oh yeah. Slept well last night. I mean, what a great day for football. Gloomy, cold, kind of rainy out there. I mean, it was awesome. Got to sleep in a little bit this morning. It was great. But I'll certainly sleep good tonight. You know, we don't have a game to prepare for tomorrow. That's usually something that jumps right on your mind. So we won't have those thoughts tonight. Just be good thoughts about hopefully getting a good bowl game and really, really cherishing the moments that we'll have with these seniors, this football team as we move forward.
What is your schedule then for early this week? I mean, considering I imagine this is a state of limbo for.
Well, we'll have. I'll meet with Terry Don tomorrow, and there's a team meeting at 3:00. You know, we scheduled that last week just because, you know, I needed to give these guys some direction. And we'll have a team meeting at 3:00, and hopefully by then we'll have some information to give the players, bowls. I don't know if we'll have any information about the job or whatever, but that's the next couple days anyway, is to have my opportunity to sit down with Terry Don Phillips and then to meet with the team at 3:00 on Monday.
Anything else?
Dabo, you've got guys on your staff who've been here a lot longer than you have, like Brad Scott, who's been here 10 years. Talk a little bit about maybe the level of anxiety for them waiting to find out what their future is going to be. You know, you're looking at a head coaching job, but there are a lot of them just looking at jobs, period.
Sure. You know, and I've been there. This is a tough business. And I that's one of the things I'm most proud of is, you know, everybody for 7 weeks, and I told the guys this the other day, this is your livelihood, this is what you do. Sure, those things creep in your mind, but these guys have put everything on the shelf for 7 weeks. Put it all on the shelf. And the focus has been on these players and being professional and doing your job, because that's what you're paid to do. And these players, I mean, these coaches have done that. And it's been awesome to see. And I told every one of them I'll never forget, you know, how they've been supportive and come together, and in an awkward situation for them too. They have been absolutely tremendous. And, you know, I know that, you know, the good Lord's got a plan for all of us, and I'm no different. So, you know, we'll see what happens.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank y'all.
FF News 4, live local breaking news at 6.
Okay, in case you haven't heard, Clemson head football coach Dabo Swinney lost the word interim today. He got the job.
He did, and he's very excited about it. Covering the news of Clemson's new head coach, News 4 sports director Jeff Hart. Hey, Jeff.
Hi, guys. Well, this press conference here just wrapped up moments ago, and right before it ended, Athletic Director Terry Don Phillips said that Dabo Swinney will be one of the great coaches in America. What'd you think about that? Pressure right out of the gate, right? Congratulations.
Appreciate it. Just very excited. Appreciate the confidence that Dr. Phillips has in me and President Barker. So looking forward to the challenge.
What you did in 48 days to get that job, absolutely remarkable. Certainly you were an underdog. Did you believe from the get-go you could get it done?
Absolutely. You know, and as I said in my very first night at the press conference, I've always been an underdog and wouldn't want it any other way. But I've always had confidence in that I could do this, and you know, really glad that it worked out well enough. I could do it as well, and so just looking forward to getting started. I'm glad we got one more game, and we're going to do everything we can to send these seniors out with one more win.
You have worked so hard here in the last 7 weeks. You had said that you really didn't have an opportunity to think, wow, I'm going to be the guy, until you were offered the job last night. And certainly the emotions just spilled out here today.
Yeah, doggone it. I apologize for that. I really haven't. It's been such relentless pursuit of our goals and focusing on our team and then or the opponent. Just really haven't had a chance to be emotional. But today it really kind of caught up with me, and but we got through it.
You told people here today and people who were listening to the press conference, believe in your dreams because dreams come true.
No doubt. I wanted people to know, listen, dream big, and then go make it happen, and believe in yourself, and don't ever quit because they do come true, and one came true for me today.
Yeah, and we're showing the shot of you putting on the orange jacket. Was that surreal, or was like, I belong in this jacket?
Well, I was a little worried if it was going to fit because I didn't try it on beforehand, and but it was very surreal and just amazing what God can do if you just put your eyes upon Him, and that kind of capped it off. Felt good. Felt really good.
Yeah, I guess when the jacket fits, it was meant to be. Congratulations, Dabo Swinney.
Thank you so much.
Fantastic. And the 25th head football coach at Clemson University. As Coach Swinney steps aside, we'll have a player for you live coming up in sports a little bit later on. Of course, the players have been saying time and time again they think that Dabo Swinney is the guy, and sure enough, he is the guy. Jeff Hart live in Clemson. I'll send it back to you.
Jeff, thanks. Warm hearts there. Freezing start to December. Cold wind in the upstate and snow in the mountains.
Yeah, it is December.
And you saw there plenty of emotion here today from Dabo Swinney, who said pretty much 7 weeks just all built up inside of him and just all spilled out here today. Let's talk to senior receiver Tyler Grisham. Of course, Dabo Swinney was the receivers coach until he took over here midway through the season. You knew him well. You're not surprised at all he got this job, are you?
I'm not. I've known him for quite a long time. Since I was young, I grew up going to summer camps with him and knew him from a young age, and I really was not surprised when he was named the head coach. I could have betted for him being the head coach weeks ago when people were questioning it, but just because I know what he brings to the table, I know that Clemson's going to get a great person on and off the field, an amazing coach, one of the best in the nation for sure, and it may sound cheesy, but it's I'm certain of that for sure.
Yeah, you wanted to walk down the hall and tell Terry Don Phillips, stop traveling around the country and interviewing everybody.
Exactly. I mean, I don't know why he would do that, and I'm just kidding. But, he made a great decision, and I'm just excited that people will be able to see what I've been able to witness and learn from for 4 years at Clemson. People are going to get a coach that, knows how to love and care for his players on and off the field, and they're also going to get a coach that demands discipline, demands pride and courage, and just really just a perfect mix for a head coach.
All right, Tyler Grisham, many thanks. Congratulations on a great career. I know you always put it on the line every Saturday afternoon. Certainly Clemson fans enjoyed watching you play. So Dabo Swinney, there you have it. The man now in charge officially. Remove the interim label. Not the only coach being introduced today. Up in Knoxville, Lane Kiffin introduced as the Tennessee Vols' new coach.
Pretty funny little close there. At the end of Lane Kiffin in Tennessee. Terry Don Phillips actually interviewed Lane Kiffin for the job that went to Dabo Swinney. What a fascinating time. It never gets less interesting or fascinating. Hope y'all enjoyed that. Appreciate the support of our sponsors for continuing to help make this happen. And, of course, thanks to every single one of you for hitting that play button. Appreciate it. Cheers.